Hey everybody, what's good? This one goes out to all of you in the comments section. You savages. You savages have been asking for Locksmith, so I'm going to give you more Locksmith. Locksmith appeared on Sway in the Morning on Shade 405 on Sirius XM. These freestyles are usually just straight fire, especially when it's Locksmith in the hot seat. I'm going to keep working on this kid's book. And before we get into it, I want to remind you to go to coconutjustice.com and get you some clothes like this t-shirt here from, I forgot where I went for this one. I got some dope gear out there that you can get your hands on. Let's get into it. Yeah, buddy. I told you guys I like these preachy dudes. He's about to drop some knowledge and probably hurt some feelings. Let's get it.
We done made classics up here.
What we doing?
This is the year of the MC. Welcome to the Valley of the Hyena. DP, drop a beat on him.
Yeah, okay. That's how we doing, Sway, huh?
So we're going to be able to understand everything that he says because he's about to drop
Yeah.
knowledge. Come on.
You know, it's that morning I got to get that throat clear.
Down right now.
Look. Sway in the morning. Yeah. New York City. Yeah. Yes.
The Locksmith.
Listen. Look, Sway. Look. Listen close as I expose a book. Sort of a moral compass encompassing what to cook. This is what the business took. The ones who claim culture vulture usually turn out to be the biggest crooks. You have to understand your enemy's flaw.
Do we need to? Well, let's do it. Let's explain culture vulture. Specifically in this argument, culture vulture is someone that just kind of hangs around. They're not living that life. They're not trying to be hip hop. They're not trying to be whatever it is. They're just kind of using it to step their way through and finally bust through and get all the money that they're looking for, blah, 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 blah. They're leveraging the culture to benefit themselves without necessarily giving back to the culture.
Watch out for your own people, that's affinity fraud. Can't even afford to seize a bank account on empty. I'm in a real estate, that's cause jealous ones still envy. Desperate thugs eating breakfast in the club.
Ooh, that is a shot at DJ Envy. He got busted for some shenanigans that had to do with real estate. Shots fired. Locksmith don't give no dams.
One still envy. Desperate thugs eating breakfast in the club. In the Bay we say yee, that's expected when it's love. Look how they framed us in a box. Jada's kiss broke his will, now she begging Smith to change the locks. Trying to eavesdrop. When a woman wants to stray, then there's nothing you can say to try to D-block. Just cut her off, keep moving and weigh it later. Where I'm from, we had to learn to keep it player.
That's it. I don't understand why fellas don't understand that. Like, if a girl wants to be with you, if a lady wants to be with you, she'll be with you. If she ain't with you, that's not yours. Like, keep pushing. Stop playing punk to, you know, like, again, if that woman wants to be with you, she will find ways to be with you. She's dealing with other dudes and that just ain't yours. Keep pushing. Keep pushing.
I'm from a city where skinny niggas are brutalized. The same turf where your self-worth is what you provide. The same soil where they pretend that they loyal and growing up being jaded is celebrated in proof of pride. No trophy, no admiration. Never have I looked at my homies for validation. Never have I hitched my wagon and niggas bragging to stand next to a weak-ass rapper with half the talent cause I'm desperate.
Ooh. So look. He is dropping nothing but knowledge bombs. Like, this is important messaging. Watch who you hang out with, because there's a lot of folks out there with no talent that might have a little bit of money, and we see it happening all the time. On this channel, I preach do your own thing, start your own thing, make your own films, make your own music. People with the money, they like to make you jump through hoops and do all kinds of stuff. That's what my guy Locksmith is saying. Like, you can't sit and wait for people to give you what they think you deserve. You got to go get it. People don't understand. Like, everyone is used to just looking to the boss and saying, hey, may I have blah, 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 blah. Instead of spending your off time building your own thing, your own routine, your own process to creating whatever it is that you want to create. Do that for you. Don't Don't let people tell you what the hell you are supposed to be getting. Go get it. Don't be crooked, like be on the up and up. Don't go to jail and all that stuff. But you have to focus on you and getting your thing. Get your bag. Stop standing behind people that don't need to be stood behind. I can share with you so many stories.
Look at what he's become. Some artists make a career eating other people's crumbs. No claim for acclaim, but claim patient. Hanging with bigger names just to stay fame adjacent. Now you ponder why the genre's in a decline. Everything disposable, nothing worthy to rewind. We're content with content and not art. Instead of focusing sharp, we just throwing out darts. Desperate to go viral, labels are in survival mode, and every artist is starving, so they provide you with just a...
There's a lot of folks out there that will just do whatever it takes. It don't matter what it is. They will do whatever it takes to either get the bag or get famous or whatever. Fame is something that you have to be very careful with, because on the way up, it's a struggle because not a lot of people want to help. But when you're up there, everybody wants to be your friend. On the way down, if there is a way down or if there is a path down, you're going to see everybody's hands are going to be in their pockets, and you just keep on.
So they can drown you. After you dead and gone, they blame the niggas around you. Ask yourself before you to a plummet. With all these dead rappers, who benefits from it? But we denote that we revoke it, then turn around and consume the very music that promotes it. Niggas don't want to be free, they want to be comfortable. I declare we fell off a cliff, Dr. Huxtable. The goalpost for black folks is adjustable. Until we fix us, then we become corruptible. You can't only expect when it's convenient. The gospel is the gospel, regardless how you receive it. You can't put tribe before truth, and if you do, then you become what you despise at the roots. Rooted in jealousy, let us eat why they jealous, just felons and...
What he just said pertains so much to what's happening today. There's people in different political parties that blindly co-sign to things that just aren't true. And so we have to leverage technology to find out the truth. You can't use technology to have someone tell you what the truth is, because they're going to tell you their truth. And their truth might interfere with your truth, your well-being, your bag. Don't just blindly co-sign to people's bullshit. Just don't. It's not going to work out well for you.
Sleeping and selling sweep. It's in my sales, I'm celebrated, I self-critique. That's why I exhale and I exhale while you get to breathe. You capping, it's in your capillaries. I cascade and close caption and captivate to the casket carry. Full of doubt like a non-believer was asking Mary how you managed to carry that package, you an adversary. Marry the mission, lyrics to wedding ring. Those who don't believe in nothing, believe everything. Paint the throne, whatever you can't condone. Babylon until you horse on course with ancient Rome. Right or wrong, we play along pretending. We don't even care if it's good, long as it's trending. We keep extending our limits, receding closer to the point we can't distinguish what's dope from mediocre.
Record companies be just flooding the airwaves, flooding the radio with music that just is trash, that doesn't say anything. Hip hop used to be the voice of the streets, and now it's just silliness.
I made mistakes worth the pain. Suffocated by hate, I had to carve a certain lane. Better learn to grow gills or wallow in your shame. Only trust yourself, that's $1 million worth of game.
He's not wrong. If you remember in the Story of OJ video, that's what Jay-Z was trying to say. He's giving you $1 million worth of game for $9.99. Locksmith is giving it to you for free. He's telling you, build your own way. Make your own way. So then that way, when the people with money get shady and they get flaky, you don't have to do some of the things that they might ask you to do, Diddy.
You see, the circumstances made me bitter. Said I was too touchy-feely to be a major figure. But when it's cheese at stake, the biases is like psoriasis. Never put your faith in a flaky nigga. I'm heading...
You got a spray over Head and Shoulders. Get that flaky mother out of here. Don't mess with people that are flaky. You know who they are. There's some folks out there that are just lazy and they just want to feed off of your energy, off of your work. They want to do the minimum. You're going to bump into this, whether it's the music industry, the film industry, it doesn't matter. It could be at McDonald's, it could be wherever. You're always going to bump into people that maybe aren't as talented as you, that maybe don't have as much money as you. And sometimes there's a lot of times that they have more money than you. You got to be careful who you're messing with, because there are people out there that will sell you for $1 and a cheese sandwich. If it gets them a little bit closer to fame and fortune and all that stuff, they are going to do it. They are out there. Be careful. Get them, Locksmith. Tell them.
It's above these artists. I know my God is watching down on me, but they doubt you and try to scalp you. These little niggas wanna be thugs, claiming they call shots. Get under your skin, a bunch of smallpox. For that moolah, they quick to wave the matula.
That's a reference to Tupac. He's referencing so many people in this song. Yeah, basically, be careful what rappers you listen to too, because chances are those cars are rented. That house is a Airbnb. Those girls were paid for by the music industry just to make that bullshit rapper, make them look like they're about something, or make them look like they're bigger than they really are. And then what happens is, when your 15 minutes of fame is over, you get kicked to the side, and the next one like lines up, and it just continues to happen. And then if you don't know business, you're going to probably lose out even more, because you have professional business people out here who will make it sound so good. It's going to sound like perfect. And then at the end of the day, when your 15 minutes are up, you're going to be out here. MC Hammer was at the top of the world, and he went bankrupt. Shout out MC Hammer. I'm not even trying to dog him. Like, I love MC Hammer. I was there when I was there. I never had the parachute pants, but I was there doing the MC Hammer and the Running Man and all that stuff. So shout out to MC Hammer, but you got to be careful, because if someone that big loses it all.
You gave little infants starting to pull up on me. My only concern is state facts. Every foul your engineer bounce is a wave cap. I wave back to the haters who made him clutch. We never seen you with a bad dame like a Rock Nation brunch. The plot thickens, the pot sticking. If y'all within 5
Rock Nation, Dame Dash. He's making reference to Dame Dash, that whole debacle that's happening and unraveling as we speak.
They're locked and they tend to stop or relate as much. Debate for what? I'm clearly on the ascension. I rap to unlock the truth, not a prostitute for attention. Do not confuse what I'm spitting with mindless drivel. I hate every rapper alive. Besides that, I'm civil. You see,
he's saying don't waste your time with people that are full of shit. There's a lot of rappers out here full of shit, and they're just not about anything. They're not saying anything. They're just in it for the bag and the 15 minutes. We've seen more and more of these rappers, like at the caliber of Locksmith, that it's about the message. And so he's saying everybody's trash. But besides that, he can get along with everybody.
Since Martin and Malcolm X, most of our people have a messiah complex. We keep waiting for someone to be our savior, so we're more susceptible to unethical behavior.
When you don't have income, when you don't have a home, it's easy to get wrapped up in these get-rich-quick schemes, whether it's a real estate one, whether it's a music industry one, whether it's especially the ladies, with how like it's kind of wild how much skin we're seeing out in like Instagram and stuff like that. Holy cow. You have to be careful. You have to stand true to who you are and who you want to be, and don't sacrifice your morals for these 15 minutes of fame. Sometimes it works in your benefit, and you have a long career doing dumb shit. Look at all the Kardashians. Like, still don't understand that whole phenomenon, but here we are. And even they had to jump through hoops and do all kinds of weird things to get famous and get that rich. And what Locksmith is saying, you have to be careful because it might not even be worth it. You selling yourself out might not be worth the price it takes or the price it costs to get to the level where all these flaky people are. I still love that line.
False prophets that profit off bad juju. False optics, our only option is YouTube. Sponsored ads selling you conscious trash that I expose. Go and console your sad guru. The mass you use is split. What's cracking?
If YouTube is the platform to get your voice out, go do that. At least on YouTube, like it's work, but if it works and you blow up, then you'll be making a satisfying living doing your things, and you're staying true to your beliefs. You're not co-signing to shady people. You're not having to jump through hoops and you know, kiss the head of executives. You know what I mean?
Between the lines and read behind their captions. Up and coming artists don't know the weight of their actions, so they portray murder and violence to get some traction. It's a distraction. The government can't sustain us. We accept the values of the people that used to hang us. This is what happens when you glorify trapping and you worship athletes, actors, and entertainers. We used to want money, now we want to be famous.
Trap music came from basically trap houses. Trap houses are where people do drugs, share drugs, make drugs. And there's a certain music genre, I guess. It's a subgenre of hip hop, but that kind of music comes out and that's what he's saying. Like, be careful with all that stuff because they're not saying anything.
Blue checks on blue checks, just look how bad they framed us.
And then people are doing whatever they can for fame. And so you're selling your soul. And what he's saying, again, those 15 minutes and those few $100s might not be worth the trade.
Jezebel, Mammy, Andy, and Amos give a pass to every other community that ain't us. It ain't much, but the consequences are dire. Entire budgets are spent to inspire lower desires. You can't have buyers without suppliers. Make Sam scream uncle, he chuckles when you perspire. The devil's a liar, so is social media. Under the influence of influencers feeding you. Broadcast controllers with broadcast control you. Convince you to buy a course, that's podcast payola. But
there's a lot of bullshit dudes out here selling courses on how to be a man and all this stuff. And it's weird because a lot of times they're teaching how to be an asshole. Why would you treat anyone like that knowing that if you got treated like that, it would make you feel like shit? So I don't understand why people keep falling for stuff. This stuff that he's explaining, they're just taking advantage of you. You have to go into all of these situations with your eyes wide open. Use technology to your benefit. Research and see, like for example, let's say you're doing some artwork for someone. Do research to see what everyone else is charging. So then that way you don't ruin everybody else's bag and you're getting the amount of money that everyone else is charging. If you go in and everyone is charging $100 for a thing and you go in for $25, you just ruined it for yourself. You're missing out on $75. And now everyone else, if they want to stay busy, they're going to have to take a look at the pricing that you just created because you're on some bullshit. Use technology to inform yourself. And again, be careful who you're paying attention to because there's a lot of folks out here who will sell you a class, or they start a university and then they rip everyone off and then they get busted by the feds and then they get it and then they get that university taken away and then they start a nonprofit and then they get busted for stealing money from the nonprofit. Like, you have to pay attention to who the hell you're paying attention to. There's a lot of crooked people and a lot of them are running for office.
A guy, Pac and Mac Dre guy. I know to play by, cause I grew up watching AI. The seed of Yazid won't ever get Bayi. I can't wait till they replace you whack niggas with AI. Find a useful plug.
He can't wait for bullshit rappers or whack rappers to get replaced by AI, but then that's the conundrum, right? That's the situation. That's the spot between a rock and a hard place. Is AI is coming in and there's a bunch of rappers that are using things like AI, and there's writers and there's artists or fake ass artists using AI to benefit themselves to make it up the ladder. I think that's cheating, but I think what he's saying is, for as bad as rappers are that they're using AI, he would rather have that than the bullshit these people are putting out into the world. It's trash. There's a lot of this music is just trash. They're not saying anything.
Find a useful plug. Roger that monotonous rap, forcing these labels to use computer love. If you's a thug, where's the separation? The perks they set create this appeal for medication. All conjecture like a lecture from a Deepak, a gesture from the C-Ops, you a jester or a griot. If you not in my circle, then you are the op. So every now and then from these niggas, I have to detox. No narco.
When you have reached your fill of bullshit, whatever it is, coworkers, rappers, whatever, you got to go and get yourself out of that situation and go and just find yourself and do the work to make yourself strong, so people outside of you don't influence you and ruin your sunshine and ruin your day and ruin your forward momentum. You have to take care of yourself and be stingy with it too.
Spark the grind out of Crescent Park, a spine. Let them keep talking, but I will not respond. I won't entertain vain talk or stress. I'm a vessel of hope. Each pen stroke is cardiac arrest. You feeling bold and proud. You spent 25,000 to rap in front of an empty crowd at Rolling Loud, playing cloak and dagger. Your whole facade is for cokes and backers. A hope bar on the corporate ladder. These young athletes turn on these trap beats, wave a gun unbeknownst they killing their own chance. God bless you. If they catch you, they gon' press.
I don't know where he's going right now with this, but there's a lot of folks that will manufacture their public persona. We've talked about this. They rent the cars, they rent the house, they do the videos, they do, like we see Instagram influencers out here taking pictures literally everywhere. They're not necessarily enjoying the thing that they should be doing, more than they're just thirsty and they want to get Instagram followers and stuff like that. You're creating this persona that kind of tap dances between the line of good and bad and legal and not legal. And there's a lot of these folks that are getting in trouble because of the music that they're putting out. The legal system is using rappers' music to put charges on them. So why would you snitch on yourself? There's some things that today's youth is doing that just doesn't make sense. Number one, how many times did your parents say, stop snitching? Just shut the hell up and go sit down. But then these people are making music snitching on themselves. And then they're surprised that the judge is like, well, it says here in this song that you shot this dude and you sold that thing and you did all this other stuff. And they're using that to put charges on people. It's crazy. It's crazy.
God bless you. If they catch you, they gon' press you, because these news outlets continue to post more rants. You must.
This is another thing where I had this conversation a lot, where in the United States, you're allowed to do, you color your hair and you pierce your things and live your life, tattoos all over the place. But then countries not the United States, they take that footage and then they kind of use it as propaganda to say, see, look, it's a bunch of Satan worshipers and they're all evil and they've lost their minds, and you know what I mean? So you have to be careful the content that you create, because it's going to come back and burn you if it's the wrong kind of content. And we see people that are doing the right things that still get in trouble, just because it doesn't fit whatever society wants to hear, I guess. So you have to be careful. If you're creating content, you're making music, and you're telling stories, blah, 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 whatever it is, you have to be careful with what it is that you're doing and assume that people will use it against you, whether it's in court, whether it's you looking for work, whatever the case may be. You have to be aware of what you're doing and the content that you're putting out.
Damn, when you slip is dire. There is no honor amongst priors. These young.
Why do time if you don't have to? When you do time, when you go to jail, when you go to prison, you've just made your life so much harder. There's states out here that won't even let you vote. So you have no control. You have zero control. I haven't been to jail, but I get to vote. And I don't even feel like I'm in control of much. But I know I get to vote.
Catch slugs from the gunners they hire and get caught in that friendly fire. Hoopers want to be rappers, rappers want to be famous. They both want to be stamped and validated by strangers. Nothing they ever rep is real. Matter of fact, they don't get a criminal record till after they get a record deal.
I just said that. They rent the cars. They get girls brought in by labels. You know, they hold the money up to their ear on Instagram, that stuff. They might have a couple $100 in the front and in the back, but the middle might be newspaper. But the thing is, like he's saying, like, you have to be careful with all of that. And all these people are trying so desperately to be famous that they're just ruining their life in pursuit of whatever the hell it is that they're trying to accomplish.
Corporations give iterations to back you, make you sign a contract so they can con and track you.
I've told this story before where I know of a rock band that got signed by a music label, but then the band itself got put on the shelf because they were competing with the band that the record label just got done signing. When you sign a contract with a record company, you have to assume that there's going to be silliness after signing. Prince was notoriously vocal about that situation. You have to be careful. And if you can, go indie. Keep your masters. Keep control of your intellectual property, of your IP.
From courtside to taking the courtside to telling the judge that your image was just an act too. Such a hypocritical pace, how they lower the bar for those in a political space. Bolster that.
And that one's a big one too. We normal people can't get away with much. Martha Stewart got busted for insider trading, which it's a iffy situation. I don't know all of it, but I know she got busted for insider trading. Meanwhile, you have people in the political system who are making so much money off of decisions that they make that then they follow up with the money, right? So if our politicians can make decisions off of whatever technology and they know what decisions are going to be made, so then they get the money guys to go in on whatever decisions or whatever company it is that is affected by the decisions that the politicians are making. That's how they're making so much money. So much money.
The poster traps and how they disarm blacks through the Mulford Act. Counterintelligence programs, maneuvering, hoovering those dams. I'm lyrically no sham. I'm the BDP of CPV. They don't even write their shit, Chat GPT. See, one man's treasure is another man.
If you are a rapper and you use Chat GPT to write your songs, number one, you're whack. Number two, when other rappers find out that you are doing that, they will eat you up.
Garbage. One man's leather is another man's carpet. One man's mansion is another man's apartment. Regardless of where you at, we don't rap in the same department. I'm an artist. I never put image before substance. I only speak facts and receive it back in abundance. I never pay attention to urban media pundits, cause all they do is exploit our trauma and it's redundant. Protect your wallets, don't ever expect some silence. You better.
Media companies exploit your trauma. People want to see the struggles. People want to hear about, oh, how hard it was and the feel-good stories and all that stuff. It's okay for you to tell your story. It's okay for you to write your films. It's okay for you to make your animations, your music, whatever it is. You make sure that you get paid the most because this is your story.
Expect some violence, I press and reject you wallets by your waist. Never say it to my face, but keep talking out the back of your neck. Marcellus Wallace, a briefcase.
That's a great line. So Marcellus Wallace is a character in Pulp Fiction, a movie by Quentin Tarantino. And why the back of his neck? Well, they say that your soul can be taken out or installed from the back of your neck, your soul. So in the movie itself, when Vincent opens up the briefcase and it's like glowing and stuff like that, that's Marcellus Wallace's soul in that briefcase. And so they took it out of the back of his neck. But then also in slang, if you are talking out the back of your neck, that means that you're full of shit. It means that you're a liar. It means that no one should trust you anyway.
States is a niche. Be careful what you say, that's a sweepstake for police. Be careful who you let put your mind in a tight leash, cause even your wife could breach. Look at how she Tyrese. Baby boy, don't be shy in these streets. Before you order them waffles, better iron out your beef. Or any potential thief that's willing to watch and creep. Flash a piece, now they mourn and immortalize you in tweets. It's a sickness. People don't want to see you succeed. They follow you just to mute you and socially execute you. Never let the shroud of the algorithm seduce you, cause niggas will watch your moves, then minimize and reduce you. I used to youthfully view.
You might do something that is huge, but then people will minimize everything that you do just to make themselves look better.
Is merit based. I used to stupidly stoop scruples and carrot chase. I'm getting sick of these unoriginal artists when all they do is repeat what's popping like a parrot's face and get extorted. You can't absorb the resources, you can't afford to record unless he pay thugs. My art is my only agency. Every stream to get paid to me. Basically, I got it out that East Bay mud. Cut the faucet. The shit that you spit is staining the carpet, causing the market spillage. My bars are carcinogenic. Your farce is sparking some interest. It's not off talent. All you speak is tongue in cheek, and that is not my palate.
Pay attention to and I know that I'm focused more on what he's trying to say on the message, but take a look at the flow switches. And he's got some really dope double entendres and stuff, and the wordplay is incredible. But again, the message is what's so valuable. And he's given us $1 million worth of game for free.
I'm from the soil where the Maccas be in steel. When any interview, whatever Hebrew is real. I know a lot of new artists before they start flooding your timeline before they even reach their arc. I.e. get swindled out of your IP, finesse to get pressed while they devalue you high key. I speak with.
If you are a creator and you have IP or intellectual property, you really have to be careful who you are messing with, because there are so many people that tell stories about how they got taken advantage of, and the lawyers or the accountant kind of swindled them out of some money. And it happened to Eazy-E, it happened to Selena, it happened to so many people in the entertainment industry. And that's because the entertainment industry has so much money, and it's been infiltrated by shitty, greedy, gross people.
Followed addiction. After you RX, you gon' need another prescription. Look, I'm the definition of persevere. The person here has accumulated a purpose clear. I used to think my career was stuck in a certain gear. Now every other year I continue to jump another tier. Yeah, I finally understand my mother's fear. Stardom is a monster that conquers all when you insincere. In some weird way, I understood her sister steer me away from rapping. She saw what happened to cliques of peers. And music can be a blessing until you start to worship those monetary reflections. Material items can be material witnesses against your initial goal and assessment. No ultimatum can make me budge. I follow my direction instead of holding the grudge. I make the sacrifices in spite of me being judged. I just thank God.
Even if people do something bad to you, don't let that ruin your rhythm. Don't let that knock you off your path. Stay true to your path. Whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to make music, if you want to make movies, if you want to make cartoons, if you want to make whatever it is, get on that path and stick to it. Don't let anyone at all ever knock you off that path.
I'm blessed to do what I love.
Yo. Ladies and gentlemen.
At the end of the day, it's up to you. You are going to be your biggest cheerleader. You are going to know what's happening in your mind and in your heart more than anybody else. Don't let anybody talk to you, distract you from any of your goals. Create a list of goals, knock that shit out. Locksmith been telling you, be careful, because there's a lot of shady people out here, a lot of flaky people out here. Again, Locksmith dropping knowledge as well as bars. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Share it with each and every one of your friends. And if you want to come hang out with me while I watch videos and work on creative projects, hit that subscribe button and even that little bell button that's right next to the subscribe button. If you click that, every time I come out with something new, you'll be alerted. Don't forget to go to coconutjustice.com and get yourself some dope gear. And with that, I'm out.